The expression on parents Todd and Julie's faces after they were found guilty of bank fraud and tax evasion is something Savannah Chrisley claims she will never forget. They were merely crying. Savannah Chrisley declared that she would never forget the expression on her parents' faces when they received the guilty verdict. Todd and Julie Chrisley, Tuesday, during an appearance on the podcast Off the Vine hosted by former The Bachelorette star Kaitlyn Bristowe, 25, recalled being seated in a federal courtroom in Atlanta in June 2022 when her parents were found guilty of charges of bank fraud and tax evasion. The actors Todd and Julie from Chrisley Knows Best were found guilty of all counts related to a multi-year scheme to defraud banks. The scheme involved the producers fabricating financial statements to make themselves look richer than they actually were and concealing their assets from the Internal Revenue Service. I will never forget when they stood up to read the verdicts and it was like, guilty, 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 like over and over and over again, Savannah stated. And I just saw the looks on my parents' faces and just everything, they were just in tears. Insider covered the couple's federal court trial and sentencing in Atlanta, which was attended by Savannah, Chase Chrisley, and other family members. They were seated behind the couple at the sentencing, so they couldn't see their parents' faces when the decision was announced. But when Julie and Todd Chrisley spoke to the judge earlier in the hearing, they were sobbing and begging for mercy. The family were not expecting the verdict, according to Savannah, and they hoped the jury would eventually find her parents to be, in her opinion, 100% not guilty. The host of the Unlocked podcast continued, calling some of the questions jurors asked the court to clarify during their deliberations appalling because they showed a lack of understanding of basic concepts like filing taxes and indictments. She remarked, "It's just so sad how our system works," and expressed her hope that the appeal would expose the court's errors. After spending 4 weeks sitting in a courtroom every day, Savannah also mentioned that she is no longer able to watch Law and Order and NBC Police Procedural because she has so much PTSD that comes back. The Growing Up Chrisley star stated later in the episode that she doesn't harbor any animosity toward her parents even though their legal issues have completely changed her life. Prior to their incarceration, Savannah had stated that she would be raising Todd and Julie's adopted daughter, Chloe, 10, and their teenage son, Grayson, 16. I can definitely understand how people would see that and think something like, whoa, she must be really upset about that, or something similar. However, I'm not at all, she clarified. Because I am aware of my parents' identities. I am aware of both their actions and inactions. I am aware of the witch hunt, when someone is desired by the government.